Who you calling Santa? Oh, what is up, y'all? Welcome to another live stream. Um, Hopefully you guys are having a good night. I had a really good day. I got to meet another one of the fish fam today. Uh, Kevin Kingery, aka Mortal Slayer 82, came all the way down from Minnesota to buy some plecos from me today. And I took him on a fish room tour. It was the first time anyone from the fish fam has ever been to my fish room, so it was kind of cool. And yeah, we had a good chat. He's originally from Iowa, so it was kind of cool. And yeah, so check out my Instagram. You'll see a picture. You guys think I've got a beard. He's got a heck of a beard too. So really nice guy. Brought me some red root floaters as well, which I was surprised about that. I think he had told me that in one of my live streams, but I forgot about it. So I got red root floaters now. So yeah, if you guys notice, right behind me, I got started putting my stand together, and I do have to take it back down because I wasn't thinking about this whenever I set it up. I was, but I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. But if you guys that watch my videos, my intro and my outro is from back there pointed this way, and I'll no longer be able to do that with that in the way. So I'll have to do it from here, and the look is just a little bit off. I tried it out this morning. So I'm going to have to move that stand back about 4 feet, and while I have it took down, I'm going to go ahead and do some leveling on each one of the shelves. I don't really like how I had to put these spacers in between the top shelf and the bricks. For looks wise, I don't think it looks that great. The reason why I had to do that is because between the top shelf and the 20 gallons, without those spacers in there, I couldn't fit my arm into the tank, and that's really important for me. So it's going to be difficult. You know, whatever scaping stuff I do on those tanks, I'll have to do before I fill them up. But I went ahead and also, you can't probably see it, but on the bottom shelf is 3 10-gallon aquariums going across there. So it's got 3 10 gallons and 2 20s, and then the 50-gallon frag tank on top. And I think it's going to end up being pretty nice. I'm pretty stoked about it. So tonight live stream, there is a poll. I want you guys to vote on what I can stock in those tanks. What do you guys think I should stock in those tanks? So we got 3 10 gallons on the bottom. My plan is right now, what I'm thinking in my mind is, on the bottom 3 10-gallon tanks, have those as overflow stock projects or quarantine tanks. And then the 220s, I want to do like maybe a shell dweller and maybe a crystal shrimp tank in both of those two. And then on the top one, I'm going to want to do plecos, and I'm going to start it out. I'm waiting on a aqua clear filter to come in. When it comes in, I'm going to fill it full of cycled media and get that tank cycling, and start testing the water on it, and put some driftwood in there and just do a bare bottom and get these albinos, like there's over 100, get those up in there to start growing them out for now. But when you stand up, my chin touches the top rim of the tank, so that'll give you an idea of where the tank is height wise. It's kind of cool. So it'll give us a little bit better of a background. Let's go ahead and go to the chat and see who all is here tonight. Says we got 20 people here. So Peter Thiel is here from Mob Guppy. What is up, Peter? He says that he moved a female guppy to another aquarium last night. She's dropping fry right now, 30 days exactly from the previous drop. Awesome. That is cool. That reminds me, when Kevin was here today, since he's a subscriber, he thought it was pretty cool to see everything, And one of the things that brightened up his face the biggest was the zebra danios that I spawned a while back. And he got to see those and how big they are now and stuff. I've got them right over here in a little 10-gallon tank. I thought that was kind of cool. We got Select Pet in the house. What is up, buddy? Daryl Deemer is here. What is up, Daryl? Nice to see ya. Then you guys hung out for quite a while. Mary is here. What is up, Mary? Nice to see ya. M Howie 9 is here. What is up, Mike? Nice to see you, buddy. Jeff from Valley Fish is here. What is up, man? Mikey is here. What is up, Mike? Let's see. Who else? Adrian Castillo's here. What is up, Adrian? Candy Overalls is here. What is up, Candy? Okay, Honeybee's here. What is up, Honeybee? Nice to see ya. Petsotics is here. What is up, Petsotics? And Tampa Tom. What is up, Tampa Tom? How many plecos can I put in a 20-gallon? Great question. Probably a lot, because right now I've got anywhere from 100 to 200 in a little breeder box. And the more I look at it, the more I think that Dank was right, and there's 200. I mean, it's just crazy. You put a big handful of green beans in there and they just saw through it. It's crazy. Okay, let's see. Dwayne Kitchell's here. Going to be hard to get around that stand. Yeah, I can walk around it without turning sideways. So, as long as I don't have any specimen containers hanging on the tanks. Now, today, I had a specimen container on this 10-gallon over there, and I bumped it with my arm when I was walking through. But I don't really have to turn sideways, but I'm kind of turning sideways as I go through. My biggest problem right now is, last night, I like to run a fan at night. This is my bedroom, you know, and the fan, there wasn't really a whole lot of room, so I hope I don't get up in the nighttime and try to walk to my desk, like if I was to hear my phone go off or something. Jeff Peterson is here. What is up, Jeff? Nice to see ya. Tampa Tom says, I tried a 3-stack tank rack 5 different ways. Never liked it. Went back to 1 per stand. I've got a 3 high in my dining room, and I really like it. I like this one. The only thing that I wish that I could have done a little bit better is the place where I went and bought all the lumber and the blocks was here in town, because I wanted to get it done last night. I kind of took off like maybe an hour early, went and got the stuff, and I wanted to get it done last night. And about halfway through it, I started scratching my head because I didn't get 18-inch blocks. They didn't have 18-inch long blocks. I got 16s. It's still going to work good. I'm using 2x8s is what I'm using. But I wish that I could have got 18s, because it would have been a little bit better. And then I wish I didn't have to put those spacers there. But if I took out a block and went down lower with the 20 gallons, then my 10 gallons in the bottom, I would have not very much space to get my arm in there. Yeah. So I'm liking the way it's set up. It's a way for me to add, you know, what is that, over 100 gallons or just under 100 gallons of water. It's a place for me to be able to add a lot of pleco space. I mean, you look down that tank, it's 48 inches long. You look down it from the long view and it looks really cool. There's a lot of space on that bottom of that tank. So I'm digging it. I just need to move it back just a little bit to where I can start doing my intros from here, and get my camera all situated. I guess, you know, if it was this camera that was doing it, this isn't a bad view to me, but I need to do some leveling for sure, because it's not level, and I'm going to start off at the bottom row doing that. All right. Mile High Pleco says, What happens in 6 months when you're too old to bend down and take care of the tanks on the bottom? Whatever. That ain't gonna happen. I've got kids too. Let's see here. I've got other tanks in the house that are low. Like I've got a 40-gallon breeder that's low. I've got 3 10-gallon tanks that are low. In my son's room, he's got 2 tanks that are low. That's why the 10-gallon ones aren't really the, you know, it's just going to be like right now I pulled out some endlers out of my Rainbow Tiger endlers that I'm going to start working on, and I put those in a little 10-gallon. I can do that, and to do that I had to move some fish around, and it was kind of a pain. So I'm not kidding anyone though. Every time you add, you still don't have room. You know, you run out. So I mean, Jeremy from Sergeant Tank is here. What is up, Jeremy? Nice to see you, buddy. I didn't get that email from you on paying you, so as soon as you get a chance, send me that email, try and get you paid. Let's see here. Jack Barger is here. I have a 55 with about, I swear, 200 super red bristlenose, and I'm doing water changes every 3rd day to keep up on quality. They're all 1 inch or smaller. Yep. Oh, that's funny. Jack Bargert says, what size is that tank? If you're talking about the top one, it is 48 by 30 by 10. I think it's 30. Maybe it's 48 by 24 by 10, and it's a 50-gallon frag tank. Low boy. Lumpy Dog is in the house. What is up, Lumpy Dog? Valley Fish says, tried soybeans for my plecos. It didn't work very well. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to do broccoli next. I've got a bunch of videos that I need to get edited, but another reason why I want to take this down, not only to level it and to move it back just a little bit, but I want to shoot my intro and outro the old way. I've got like 6 or 7 videos built up, and I don't want that to be in the shot before I talk about it in the video. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a bizarre thing, so it's just going to have to be how it is. But I think what I'm going to do is when my son gets home tonight, I'm going to have him help me take that tank down off of there, because it was kind of wicked to get it up there. Plus the straps were still on it, and I used those to help me get it up there. So I'm going to have him help me take it down, and then I'll take the stand all the way down, shoot all my intros tonight, and then I'll move the stand back in here. I'm going to tape the floor before I do it. That way I know where to put it after I get it back. And let's see here. And then I'll edit all those videos. Well, what I'll do is I'll tape the floor, and then I know where I want to put my blocks, and then I'll level it as I go up this time. It was something that I was just really excited to get it together last night. Michael says he has some sitting on the floor. Dwayne Kitchell says, yeah, full of water, that top tank may be tricky too. Weight up high can be difficult. I'm not really worried about it. It's spread out quite a ways, and I've got a bunch of these stands already, and they're pretty solid. So I'm not really worried about it. Mob Guppy says multiple tank syndrome is a thing, Jeffro. Yep, I've got it, but I'm a proud member. I'm a proud member. Mortal Slayer 82 is in the house, probably still driving home, I would say. What is up, buddy? Nice to meet you today, and hopefully you enjoy those plecos you took home. He says super reds, and the ones I gave him, I've got a really nice line. I'm pretty proud of them. I mean, they're pretty bright red, you know, so I'm pretty happy with them. I hope he enjoys them. Susie Q is in the house. So Susie, while you're here, I got a question for you. I saw you post, I'm pretty sure it was you, on Instagram today, some pictures of dart frogs. Do you have dart frogs, Susie? That's my question for you. But welcome to the live stream. Jack Bargert says, I didn't expect to have that many plecos, lol. Love the low boy style tanks. Yeah, definitely. Me too. Corey's Aquatics is here. Got my stuff going on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Would love everyone to check them out. I need to get on Jeffroz level. Yeah, I don't do all that much on Twitter, but I do have a Twitter. It's at JeffATP. And every one of my videos gets posted to there automatically. I am on my Twitter once a day. And I share what my subscriber count totals are for the day, if they've changed. If they haven't changed, I don't. But I share them on YouTube subscriber count, and they share it out for me. So I kind of use that as a tool. Mob Guppy says, share and like tonight's. Jeffroz FishKeeping. I shared this stream on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks a lot, Peter. I appreciate that. Mad Cypress LL is in the house. What is up, man? What's up, y'all? Welcome to the live stream, buddy. Priscilla MK Art is here. What is up, Priscilla? Nice to see you. Dwayne Kitchell says you could get a short piece of 2x10 to replace your blocks. Yeah, those are actually 2x4s that are probably 17, 18 inches long, somewhere around in there. They're the same length or longer than the 16-inch blocks. And the only reason why I have them there is to create more space to put my arm in the tank. My arm gets stuck about right here where my big muscle starts, you know. And I can't get them all the way in. And I know if I'm trying to catch shellies, because I'm going to probably on this side put shellies, or on the other side put some crystal shrimp. And I know if I'm trying to catch them, I'm not so worried about the landscaping and stuff, because I can do that, you know, the aquascaping, the hardscape. The only thing is if I wanted to change it, I would have to drain the tank all the way down and then slide the tanks out. So I almost don't want the spacers in there, but yeah, I could even get another 2x8 even and put on there too. But with the 2x4s in there, I don't know. I'm torn. You bring up a really good point though. Okay, so Susie says, I have 3 dart frogs that I got today at the Reptile Expo. They are freaking adorable. I am starting a culture of fruit flies. Yep, I've got 4 cultures of fruit flies going on right now. I bought my first one, and after it got to where it looked and smelled like it was starting to get rancid, I was afraid it was going to kick out. I looked up a recipe online, and it had beer and yeast and what else? Let's see, beer, yeast, what was the filler? I don't know if it was mashed potatoes or not. I'm trying to think. Can't remember if it was mashed potatoes or not. And it had some vinegar in it too. But all 4 of the cultures are doing awesome. And you know, to keep them from overpopulating, since I don't have my dart frogs here yet, I've been feeding them to my fish and stuff. And I even every once in a while put them in with my dumpy frogs. Oddball Aquatics is in the house. Just got a new phone and I'm totally lost, people. Where is all my stuff? LOL. Yeah, I hate changing phones. I need a new phone, but I hate changing. Lisa C is in the house and she says, hi all. What is up, Lisa? Welcome to the live stream. Mortal Slayer 82 says, where is the beard pic? On way home, but not driving now. I shared it on my Instagram, and I'm pretty sure I tagged you in it. I'm pretty positive. But if you go on my Instagram, I shared it on my Instagram today. And his beard is bigger than mine, I think, anyhow. You'd have to ask him to make for sure, but I think his beard is bigger than mine. I grow mine down my neck a little bit farther than he does, and then he's got a heck of a lot more hair than me. I mean, he's got a great big full head of hair, but he's awesome. Brought me those red root floaters. Pretty awesome. But congratulations, Susie Q, for getting into the frog gang. I can't wait until mine are here. Dank told me that, well, he actually called me on a video message yesterday, and he was showing me how my first one was actually jumping out of the water. And my first frog, I'm getting 3 of them, and my first one is completely out of water now. So it's got front legs, back legs. It is an actual frog now, and I'm pretty stoked. Susie says mine is baby food and potato flakes and ... Susie also says your vivarium is gorgeous. Yep. Today I did do some trimming on it. Dank brought up a fact. I sent him a picture of it last night, and I needed to make like a feeding area, and in the middle I have a pretty good sized chunk of Mopani on the forest floor. So I trimmed out a little V spot in the middle for that, so that whenever they get here they have a spot where I can dump all the fruit flies in. But yeah, it's growing out really good. Alright, I am at the bottom of the chat. We're 20 minutes in. It looks like we got 30 people here. But I can't wait to start getting water in these tanks and get them going. I've got a few more things to order. I mean, whenever I started this project, it was a frag tank, and then it turned into all of this, and it's expensive to get it all going. It really is. I mean, you've got the tanks, of course, but the tins on the bottom, I had those left over from the time that I built that rack in my dining room. Originally I was going to have 15 tanks in there, and I had 3 10 gallons left over, so that's what these 3 on the bottom are here. So I didn't have to buy those, but the lumber and the blocks were cheap. It's just you know, the tanks weren't that bad either. It's just all the stuff that goes along with it. You know, you do a shell dweller tank. I've already got some of the hardscape, but you got to buy shells and sand. I've already got sponge filters. And then, you know, the crystal shrimp, I don't have any stratum right now, so I have to order that. I've got this, well, I'm going to do a matin filter on those, so I'll need to order some foam to cut me out another matin filter. I've already got PVC to be able to do that. And then the top tank, I had to order an aqua clear for it. I only ordered a 50 because I have a 70 that's on a 40-gallon breeder that's honestly a little bit too much for that tank. I don't really need that much. Because it's kind of low stock, so I'll take the 70 off of that tank and put on this 50 up here, and then I'll take the new 50 that I get and put on that 40-gallon breeder. And then right now I'm just going to go bare bottom in here, and I already have all the wood. I've got tons of wood. Let's see, what else? I got to buy the sand. I don't have any sand. Oh, I'm going to buy another manifold and Gemco pump and put this room in here on a central air system. So all of my sponge filters on this rack right here will be on a central air in this 40-gallon breeder, and then I'll have room to put more of the tanks on it if I want to, but I'll have to run airlines and stuff, so we'll see how that works. Dwayne asks, what kind of filtration you setting up for this rack? Yep, so this top one is going to be an aqua clear, hang on the back, and I might go ahead and do a sponge filter in there too. I like the sponge filters, and on most of my tanks I do a hang on the back and a sponge filter, so I'll probably go ahead and do that since I am going to put a central air system in here. I really like the one that I've got in the dining room. It's a Gemco. It's a it's not a linear air piston, it's a I want to say baffle pump, but it's not a baffle pump. You know what I'm trying to say. It's like one that you buy in the store, but it's like on steroids. It's a really powerful one, but gosh. But anyhow, then I'll do sponge filters on the Shelly, and then, you know, a matin filter on the crystal shrimp, and then the bottom 3 are just going to be sponge filters. Yep. And I probably had already answered that before I even said it, or before I seen your question. Lumpy Dog says, I'm just waiting for your LF longfin white clouds to spawn again before sending them your way. I'll be sending 9 breeding adults. Wow, great longfins and gold and scarlet red markings. Man, that sounds awesome. You're making my mouth water. Pleco Nation is in the house. What is up, man? He says, hey buddy, I really love the look of that lowboy. Yeah, I know. I can't wait to fill it full of plecos. Now to start out, I'm just going to be growing out some plecos in it. But I'll probably add a pleco here and there. I'd like to do some kind of a you know, a mashup of different types. But it's going to be a pleco tank for sure. It's going to get some plecos in it pretty soon, actually. Honeybee says, I use all sponge filtration. I have a sponge filter in probably, I can't think of a tank that I don't have a sponge filter in. My 3 shrimp tanks have matin filters, but those are a type of sponge filter as well. So, yeah, I'm there with you. Shelby Ray Lane is in the house. What is up, Shelby? Hey, Jeffroz Fish Fam, late and lurking, listening, working on a mixed media art piece that is paid for and due to be shipped this week. Awesome. I didn't even know you were an artist. That's really, really awesome. Let's see here. Buster Maston is in the house. What is up, Buster? Nice to see ya. Mortal Slayer 82 says the Legion of Albinos for the low boy. Yeah, it definitely will be, and he can tell you from seeing him in person, there's a lot of them in there. I mean, it's just crazy how they can just mow down on those green beans already. I mean, those 14 millimeter Northfin kelp wafers, I've been putting one of those in there a day, and they clean that completely up. And that's surprising because, you know, I wouldn't think that they could eat one whole kelp wafer. I mean, the 14 millimeter pellet is a big pellet, and they just mow it down like it's nothing. Yeah, there is a ton of them, and they'll grow up quick in this tank, so that'd be nice. On the ones that you ship, they ship a lot better when they're smaller, so I'll start kind of promoting those as they get bigger is what I'll do. But my bags that I'm wanting to use are still not here, and they were shipped out on the 21st, and they were shipped regular USPS mail because I only bought like 100 of them, I think, somewhere around in there. And today's not the 22nd, so maybe it wasn't the 22nd. I said they were shipped out on the 21st. The 19th? No. It was like last Friday. The 14th, maybe? Anyhow, they were shipped out over a week ago, and I reached out to the seller because they're just down in Missouri, and my mom, she mails stuff, normal mail to me all the time, and it has to go to Springfield, Missouri, then it has to go to Des Moines, and it has to come to me. So sometimes it takes 5 or 6 days, but yeah, I'm kind of concerned that they're not here yet. There's no way to track it since it's regular mail either. So anyhow, so what is everyone up to tonight? Anybody got any interesting stories to tell? One thing that I'm kind of stoked about setting my studio up this way is every time that I did an intro or an outro over there, I had to take these studio lights down and I had to move them back there, and they're the old style with the big white umbrella on them and stuff, and it was a pain in the butt to take them down and unplug them and move them over there and shut the door and yada yada yada. It was always a job to get it set up, and now I can leave them here. After my live stream's off, when I shut them down and they cool off, I collapse the umbrellas and I turn them away to where there's more room. And now whenever I go to shoot an intro or an outro, I'll just pop them out and be done with it. It'd be nice. John Betker's in the house. What is up, John? Hey everybody, just took a brutal 5% beat in a $1,100 pot. At least I get to listen to the live stream on the way home. Oh my goodness, buddy. That is a tough one. Honeybee says, in bed, it's 1:30 a.m. here. Nice. I always stay up late on the weekends especially, so I know what you mean. Jeremy was the one that would always be live whenever I was going to bed. And I can remember also one night I went to bed and I couldn't sleep, and like 2 in the morning here, I finally just got up and got on the computer and started surfing, and Lucas went live, and he was like, he was pulling what was it, rainbow eggs off of a spawning mop, and it was kind of cool. Q Aquatics says my Vija Bredori cichlids have eggs. Awesome. I'm sure I butchered that word. Joel G says lazy Sunday for me. I love lazy Sundays. I don't think I'm going to be able to have too much of a lazy Sunday because I kind of had a lazy Saturday. One thing that I did do tonight that was really cool is my youngest son is at his mom's this weekend, and my oldest son is at a band event, like some kind of a competition in a different town a long ways off. So it's supper time. I didn't have anybody here, nothing going, so I went to the store and I bought my dad's favorite steak. I bought a real thick ribeye, and I bought a baked potato, and I came home and cooked me up a ribeye and a baked potato in honor of my dad, who passed away a year ago today. I cannot believe it's been a whole year. It was really, really hard on me. I'm still not over it. I never will be over it. Things are going good for me now, though. I'm not as hurt and depressed and down and stuff like that. But there's days that it's hard. But the thing that blows me away the most is that it's been a whole year. Like, he's been gone for a whole year. It's just kind of wild. But today's that anniversary that my dad passed away. Last year this time was really rough. And my dad was a meat cutter his whole life. He was a butcher. You know, growing up we had awesome cuts of meat at the house. And yeah, I had me a really awesome steak dinner at home, and I kicked its butt. I cooked it in my cast iron skillet, and it was awesome. So Mob Guppy says Lucas goes live 24/7. He is my role model. Yeah, he's doing it because he kind of ran out of time to be able to make edited videos. It takes a lot of time to do them, and he's going live now that he got his new phone, and it's working out pretty good for him. Lisa C says, sorry about your dad. Thanks a lot, Lisa. Honeybee says, that sounds so yummy. Sorry about your dad. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a really good steak. Joel says, sorry to hear that, bud. Cheers to Jeffro's dad. Yep, definitely. Mob Guppy says, my dad died just 2 months ago. It is rough. Yep, I saw that on Facebook. Definitely is different. That was the closest person I'd ever lost in my whole life, and you know, he was only 62 years old, so I had never tried to even prepare for my dad being gone. You know, I mean, you just don't prepare when they're that young. You don't even think about it. He was in pretty decent shape. He just had a blood clot disorder that they didn't know about that kind of kicked his butt, you know. Adrian says, sorry to hear that, Jeff. Thanks a lot, Adrian. Slick Pet is, oh, okay. Let's see. Sorry to hear that also, Mob Guppy. I didn't know that. Yeah, definitely. Susan for SLC Aquatics is here. Better late than never. That's right. Thanks for coming in. Really nice to see ya. Dwayne Kitchell says, if he cut meat for a living, did he have all his fingers? I cut for a while and I'm missing a little part of one. My dad never lost the tip of his finger or a whole finger, but his hands were scarred. He also kind of dealt with stiff joints in his hands. His meat shop for the last probably 20 years was cooled, so it was a cooled, like a cooler actually, you know, 60 some degrees, and he would come home and, you know, just, you know, have stiff hands and stuff. But he definitely did have a lot of scars. I mean, if you ever cut yourself, you called him and he would tell you how to fix it up, because he definitely yeah, him and cuts, real bad cuts, they were well acquainted. Dwayne Kitchell says, yeah, the cold will get you. Yeah, I'm kind of that way already anyhow. Like, all my joints, like, I get stiff, and you know, I drive kind of pretty much for a living, and there's some places that I go to that are 3 hours away, and when I get out I feel like I need a walker for the first few steps. Let's see here. So we're at the bottom of the chat. We got 34 people here. Just a reminder, the 34 people that are here, the tank stand that is behind me is all new. I just set this all up. I am going to take it down tonight and move it and level it, But I do have a poll that is going tonight, and if you guys haven't ever done a poll on these live streams, what you do is if you're on a mobile, touch the middle of the screen, like right on my nose, and whenever you do that, look up in the right hand corner and there's a little eye icon, and you click on that, and it asks, I'm asking what you guys think I should stock in these tanks back here, and it will help me figure out what you guys want or don't want. Baby, older man. Oh, okay. I thought it was a baby. I'm like, Mary says older man at Jeffroz FishKeeping. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. That first step is always a doozy. Whenever I've rode in the van for a long time, anyhow, you know. 54 Punchies here. What is up, Pam? She says, hey, fishy internet peoples. What is up, Pam? Nice to see ya. Dan Squires is in the house. What is up, Dan? Nice to see you, buddy. Let's see here. M. Howie9's Fish Tank says, finally got my auto water change done on all of my tanks. I also rearranged some of my saltwater plumbing. That is awesome. That is something that I want to do really, really bad. I had never had this problem before, but this summer, with it being daylight all the way till 9 o'clock at night, that window back there got really, really bright, and what it would do is it would over brighten to where it was hard to see me, and just wasn't a good background. And these fish tanks, I might have to have the lighting on them really low or something, but I kind of wanted a backdrop that was a little bit different than windows that are way back there with mini blinds that have bright sunlight in them, you know. So I'm going to mess around with it. I may have to change the angle of them, because right now, if you guys look on that frag tank, you can see my studio lights. So I don't know how that's going to work if whenever I got light on the tank, because I've got the lights all ordered. It was like Wednesday or Thursday whenever I ordered those. So those will be coming in. Probably by next Saturday I'll have water in the top one for sure. But I don't know about the middle two. Depends on when that other stuff comes in. All right. Susan says, okay, Mom Guppy. Punchy says, I just got back from the LFS. I went for frozen food, came home with a 6-pack of Corey's. Awesome. Insightful One Fish Keeping is here. What is up, Insightful? Nice to see ya. Dan Squires says, just finished my last wedding of the season. Hello, weekends. Awesome. So are you a photographer, or do you cater or set up the wedding? That's something I didn't know about you, Dan. Krusty Bojangles is here. What is up, everyone? What is up, Krusty? Nice to see ya. Select Pet. Oh, hadn't thought of reflection versus backlighting. Maybe a curtain. Yeah, definitely. I don't want to paint the top tank at all, because the top tank, barring right here, I can walk all the way around the top tank, and I like that, because anytime you're videoing stuff, if you can get a view from any side of the tank, there's been lots of times where plecos like to hide, you know. And I also like that the top of the tank is chin high, so my camera, I'll be able to set it up on the tripod and have it right up there on it, you know. So I'm really liking that, but I don't know, we'll have to play around with it. Even if I have to move my lighting somewhere, like I don't know, we'll be able to figure out something. Even if I turn it at an angle, there'll be something that I can do. Adrian says, awesome, I've got 4 Corys and hope to add to them. Yeah, I love Corys. Oddball Aquatic says, wait, okay, I'm back. We're doing good, Krusty. Having a good old time. We've been going now for about 40 minutes, and Saturday nights I always go live longer than an hour if we've got enough people here. So if you guys want to hang out for a while, we're good. I don't have anything going. Dan Squires says, joint manager of weddings. Cool. These Corys will be a new breeding project. Got to figure out what kind they are. Owner had no idea. Yeah, that's tough. You'll be able to figure it out though. The only problem is you won't be able to figure out like collection point or if they're wild caught, yada yada yada. Real thing for you, fish tanks is here. Damn, Jeffroz FishKeeping, that MTS is getting bad, bro. It definitely is. It definitely is. I've been wanting a frag tank forever, and originally what I thought was I would just have it right in the middle of the room to where I could walk all the way around it. But the more and more I got to thinking about it, I kind of wanted to maybe do a stand. And then I've wanted 20-gallon longs for a long time as well. And I started doing some figuring, and I figured it out how I could do a stand and have the 20-gallon longs. There's two of them. They're setting back to back. And on one side I'm going to have some crystal shrimp, and the other side shellies. And then the bottom has 3 10-gallons on it. So DK Fish Hooks Aqua Team Racing. Hi, first time. I have planted tank, heavy planted tank, overstock community. Other than 25% changes, what else can I do to reduce nitrates? That's easy. Ooh, and it's a heavily planted. Overstock community. Other than 25% changes, what else can I do to reduce nitrates? That's easy. Good grief. Do you have floating plants? Because sometimes those floating plants, you know, the only problem with floating plants is they would take away the light from your other plants. Dwayne Kitchell says, need to get a nice piece of driftwood for the center of that frag tank. Definitely. My 2 40-gallon breeders that I have in there for my L182 and L183s, I've got great big giant chunks of Mopani. Now, earlier today, whenever I had to get all of those Super Reds, because Mortal Slayer took 8 of my Super Reds out of there. They were really hard to catch, so I had to get all that driftwood out of there, and I just laid it in there, and I've got some pretty big chunks in that tank over there. But yeah, a great big chunk of Mopani would be awesome. I even thought about doing another one like this 40-gallon breeder over here. If you can see it, I'm probably going the wrong way. I've got a great big piece of driftwood, and it comes all the way up out. And at the top, I've got a piece of Christmas moss, and it is actually growing immersed out onto it. And that's kind of cool. But I don't like that kind of wood. Like, the problem with it is it's softer. I like the harder woods that last longer, that don't fall apart and stuff, you know. So that driftwood, that's just out of the Des Moines River somewhere is what it is. I had a guy up in Des Moines that goes and collects it. He sold it to me for $20, which is a good price. And I've had it in there over a year, and it's holding up. But there for a long time, I was vacuuming out sawdust all the time. Adrian says, once I graduate and get a full-time job, I think I'm have a big fish problem. Yeah, you probably will. Mortal Slayer 82 says lurker mode activated. Krusty Bojangles says, I lost it. Pretty good. I have pleco eggs, trying to decide if I should pull them into a breeder box or just leave them in the tank. At first, I was going to let them go natural, but this 50-gallon breeding for profit tank where my Super Reds are, I don't want a bunch of babies floating around in there. Plus, I kind of want to be able to control the population in that tank. I probably got it backwards. I should probably be growing out my bristlenose Super Reds in that tank, and then I should have the mom and the dad like in a 20-gallon long is what I should be doing, and then scrape the eggs every time and just put them in this 55-gallon for grow out. That's what I should be doing. But I've got them in a 30-gallon up here for grow out. But I like to scrape mine out, and I'm glad I did on this common tank back here in the background, because these commons, their line is all mixed up, and they shoot out calicos and Super Reds and commons. So I kind of like to get them out of there and grow them out in a tank separate. And for the most part, I've got them in tanks that don't have a whole lot in it. I usually put like a piece of driftwood in it, and that's about it. And a lot of times you have to pull the driftwood out whenever you're getting them to sell and stuff. But that's what I do whenever I see that they've spawned within the first 2 days. I scrape the eggs out in a breeder box, and I like it that way. I really do. Let's see here. Yeah, Select Pet brings up a good point too. If you're still here, DK Fish Hooks, Pothos is a really good nitrate sucker too. I've got Pothos on quite a few tanks, and the roots just let them keep on growing and growing and growing, and they just suck all the nitrates up. So that's another thing you can do. And they don't shade the sun or the light from your plants either. Our Aquatics is here. I made it. Welcome to the live stream hour. Nice to see you. Adrian says, "Do you have MTS bad? Anyways, how to is the stand behind you? How tall is the stand behind me? Is that what you were meaning, Adrian?" I don't see a follow-up. How to is the stand behind you? I'm assuming you're saying how tall is the stand behind me, but the top rim of the 50-gallon frag tank is right at my chin, and I'm 5'9", 5'10", somewhere around in there. 5'10" without or with shoes on, maybe. I can't remember. I haven't been measured in a long time. Boom. Susan says, "I gotta go. If I can, I'll be back." All right, sounds good, Susan. Check in, because we might be going for a long time. There was one night I went 3 hours on a Saturday night. I'm not promising that, but Lisa C says more filtration. Yeah, you could up your filtration. Definitely, that would help too. That's a good point. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Select Pet says Bridezilla's turned to Wifezilla's. Definitely. I never been able to understand those Bridezillas. It kind of makes me sick when I see it, because it's like, really? You know, excuse me, I can understand it's your perfect day, it's your day, yada 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 yada, but if I get married again, we're either going to Vegas. I don't care if we do one of those drive-throughs in my Jeep or something even, you know, but we're either going to Vegas or Justice of the Peace or something like that. Unless I met someone who had never been married before and I really fell in love with them, and it really meant a lot to them to have a wedding. But I've already had a wedding, and like, I don't know. I guess it depends on who you get married to. Let's see here. Keith. Whoa, wait a second. There was a question from Keith. Goodness gracious, the chat went crazy. Okay, Keith Borderly is in the house. Check local water to see if it also has nitrates in it. Also, that's a good point. Most people like the harder wood. Yeah, I'm way behind in the chat because Select Pet's digging at me there. Lumpy Dog says, please remember that 25% water changes will rarely make a nitrate test read lower. Most nitrate tests measure 0, 5, 10, 20, 40 ppm, etc. This requires approximately 50% less nitrates for color change. That's a good point too, Jeff. Thank you very much. Krusty Bojingle says, at Jeffro, do you have a video on pulling the eggs? My video this last week that said it's let's see, what am I going to do with all these plecos, or I have to do something with all these plecos. I do scrape some, but I've never been able to really get it on video up in the cave because it's so dark in there, and you have to hold a flashlight and you have to be looking with your eye straight on it to see. But what I use is a pretty good sized butter knife because it's real narrow at the tip, you know. And I just, I lots of times if I have my son here, it helps because he can hold the flashlight over my shoulder. But you kind of just turn it to where the eggs are up at the top, and you just shove that butter knife in there and slowly start scraping underneath it, and then they'll fall down finally. And when they fall down, you can put them down in the sometimes you can just dump it and they'll fall out, but they're sticky a lot of times. So a lot of times I'll dunk it down in the breeder box and then turn it over and pour it out, and then they pop right out. And it's really easy. The first time I did it, I was scared to do it. I was worried that I was going to puncture the eggs, but they're pretty tough. Just scrape up against the pleco cave. Another thing, and I can't wait until the 2 tanks get going that I've got them in, but Sergeant Tank Pets came up with a design for a pleco cave that has a removable lid, and I made one on a video one time out of slate tiles that you buy at like the Home Depot or whatever, you know, and they're really easy to make. You silicone the pieces together, so go back and look at that video too. You can make you some of those. And what the plecos do is they deposit the eggs on the top, and then you just take the top off, and they're right there, and they're easy to scrape off. But I haven't had any spawn in those 2 tanks yet because they're younger plecos, but that's what I wish I had in all my tanks, and eventually I probably will, because they're made for, you know, having, you know, a reverse trio on this side and a reverse trio on that side, you know, doing their business, and you could have 2 spawns at the same time. So I'm doing a lot of hand signals tonight, ain't I? Alright, so Dan Squires says, I hope you don't mind, but you remind me so much of a long lost and dearly missed friend. Jeffroz FishKeeping, you're taking his place. Well, that's awesome, man. I don't mind that at all. That is kind of cool. I like it. Excuse me. I was born and raised in southern Missouri, and I moved here to Iowa when I was like 24, getting ready to turn 25, or I just turned 25, somewhere around in there. And I can remember every once in a while running into people, and you know, when you live in a town your whole life and then you just uproot and move to a whole different state, and you see someone every once in a while, I mean, like, there was times where I was like, is that them? You know, and you don't want to ask them, and you know it's not them, but I understand what you're saying, Dan. That's pretty cool. Okay, so Adrian says, how tall? Yes, how tall? So yeah, if it's chin high, my head is really big, so maybe my head, like whenever I'm measuring people all the time and I forget to take their seat to top of head, it's usually a rule of thumb from your shoulder to the top of your head is like 8 inches. And I bet you a bunch of people are getting measuring tapes out right now, and they're like, hey, I wonder if he's right. But you know, no matter how tall you are, also, you'll have to check this out sometime. I am a seating and positioning specialist. That's what I'm certified to do. So I know how to get people sitting straight and proper that have disabilities in a wheelchair. And I know how to do things to order things to a wheelchair to make it to where they can sit straight and proper. But if you take a 6'2" guy and set him next on a couch right next to some gal or another guy that's like 5'9", that's quite a bit of difference. That's like 5 or 6 inches. 9 times out of 10 when they're setting, they're at the pretty close to the same height. A lot different than if they were standing versus setting. So a lot of your length is from the waist down. Looks like we got a super chat here, which I didn't even see it go by, but we got a super chat. Let me click on it. From Lumpy Dog for $5. Hey, what's this $ thingy do? Oops, I just pressed it. Thanks a lot, Jeff. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's a super chat $. Thanks a lot. 808 Tanks is in the house. What is up? Nice to see ya. Buster Maston says, haha, I was born and raised in southwest Missouri, now in Tennessee. I know exactly what you mean. 500 people in my hometown. My town is an hour east of Springfield. It was called Mountain Grove, and I think there's 4,752 people. That's the population of my hometown. So mine's kind of south central. I know in Springfield, the college there for a while was called Southwest Missouri State University. So mine was an hour. I was born and raised an hour east of Springfield, right on Highway 60 there. Joel says, how do I stop slumping on my couch? Some kind of harness or brace. You could put a lumbar roll, and then you could put some backpack straps and over the top of your couch, bolt them to the back of your couch, and then run them down through the seat cushions and bolt them to there, and make a buckling harness right here, so the lumbar support down here would press down there, and then the shoulder straps would pull you back. That's how I would do it, buddy. And then, you know, we'd probably have to start working on some kind of a mouth harness or something, you know. That would help you a lot too. So Select Pet says, a seating specialist, question mark? That sounds awesome. I never knew that existed. It sounds like someone that sits a lot. No, it's for wheelchairs. So people with disabilities, if you put them in just a 90-degree seat, and they'll just be leaning over all the time, and I have to do all kinds of things to their chair to make them be able to sit upright, to be able to do their aids to daily living, because, you know, none of us can do anything if we're like this all the time and falling out of our chair and stuff. So yep, assistive technology professional is what it is, ATP. I'm certified to sit. Yeah. Yep. Vinoxky Tank is in the house. What is up, Vinoxky? Nice to see ya. Let's see if I missed anybody else too. Some people are rolling in. Boom, boom. Let's see here. Nope. I don't think so. I did see a follow-up from the one gentleman that had the questions though. Thanks, gonna try pothos. Sounds like an easy fix. Yeah, pothos plants are cheap too. Just about everywhere that has a gardening section has them. You can get them all the time at your big box stores like your Menards and Home Depot, and all of those places always have pothos. Also at all of your flower stores, because that's like one of the #1 funeral plants, you know. But you just get them, clean the roots really good, because there will be fertilizer that is stuck to the roots, even because they high fertilize the soil, and just kind of use an old toothbrush to clean that off. Make sure it's not a hard bristle toothbrush where it doesn't really cut up the roots really bad. But then a lot of times you can even put them in your hang on the back filters, you know, they'll like incorporate into your sponge in there, or you know, there's different ways of like using those little oh, let me see if I can find one. You can get these for really cheap on Amazon, and whenever you clamp it to like your tank, the pothos stem can go through it, but then it won't fall down, you know. So you can do things like that. I've got one pothos plant that I'm doing that with, and it'll grow and grow and grow. And if you can look back there in the background at that one on the glass tops, that plastic that's on the back side of the glass tops, I've just got a piece cut out of that, and I put the root structure down through that, and it kind of just cradles it there. I got measured when I went to the doctor's a couple weeks back. I'm in the obese zone, lol. But only like grade 1 obese. If I want to be a real fat man, I'll have to step it up. Yeah, I would say my index would be not on the 1 zone, it'd be like double cheeseburger zone. I eat way too many double cheeseburgers and pizzas. If I wouldn't have went back up in the chat, I wouldn't have saw that, Joel. Let's see here. They make chemicals they claim to neutralize nitrates. Be careful with them. They take away oxygen. Another thing that we got to do is we got to try to get things stable without using chemicals to do it. I don't like to use chemicals that, you know, because then it's almost like your aquarium kind of depends on it, you know. But what Lumpy Dog brought up about the tester makes sense, you know, because it's a test strip or a test bottle water, you know, if you're using the liquid ones or whatever. If you're only doing a 25% water change, Lumpy brought up a really good point on that. It's probably not really high nitrates, it's just it didn't change, I bet. Boom, boom. I have never gotten to 20 ppm nitrates for 3 years now in this tank. I can't give up my rainbows. Definitely. Definitely. I hear you there. Boom, boom. Oh, Buster Maston says know exactly where Mountain Grove, Missouri is. Cool. There's a hill outside of town called Star Hill. Some of them call it Crow Hill. That hill just outside of Mountain Grove is the highest elevation in the whole state. Food for thought. 808 Tank says I'm sick, so been in bed all this week. Yuck. Yuck. Does giving... Uh-oh. Let's see here. Does giving seating advice on your live stream make this tax deductible? Doubtful. Just literally clean soil off and float them. Yeah, you can do that too. But if you float them, the leaves of the pothos will turn yellow. So what I like to do is I try to keep, it's kind of a rhizome, I guess is what kind of a plant it is. I try to keep the rhizome in the water just a little bit, and the roots for sure. But the leaf where it comes off of the stem, keep the stem of the first leaf out of the water is what I recommend. So it really wouldn't be a good floater. Punchy says I'm a sitting expert, or hang them off the back and drape into the tank, honeybee. I have the Dow Agger's hump of a true sitter. Yeah. Real Thing for You says I can't wait to get a new wheelchair. Do you need a new wheelchair? Dwayne Kitchell says at honeybee, rinse the dirt and let the root dangle in the water. Yep, definitely. While before using, after cleaning dirt to make sure no ferts, etc. Let's see here. I got those exact clips at Wally World. Yep, definitely. Is Pothos cat and dog safe? Alhana Tank Tazuki says, is Pothos cat and dog safe? I wouldn't think that it would be poisonous to your animals, but it's a really popular plant, so you could do a Google search on it. But I wouldn't think that it would be harmful to cats and dogs. I use the pots, baskets my plants come in to hold pothos on top. Cool. Hang on a second. I seen an answer maybe. My cats eat cat food. Wait a second. Pothos is toxic if eaten, Select Pet says, the leaves. Alhana Tank says, yeah, looked it up. Can't use something my cat might eat, so all the plants stay inside the tank. Gotcha. Honeybee, they come in different colors too. Yep. Alhana Tanks, there are other plants to do this with too, like lucky bamboo, different ivy, sweet potato, etc. Heather Nielsen says, hi Jeffro and everyone. What is up, Heather? Nice to see you at the live stream. Yeah, we're just hanging out. Nice to see ya. Real Thing for You says, they told me I had to wait until April. Yeah, what it is nowadays is it's 5 years if your chair needs to be replaced. Or if you've had a change in condition, we can do it prior to that. So like if you've had a change in condition where, let's say you got a chair that no longer fits your medical needs after 3 years, and we can justify that you need something to be added to your chair, but your chair won't allow it to be added to your chair, that would justify us getting you a whole new chair. But it's right around 5 years, somewhere around in there. But that's what I've done for the last next month will be 97 is when I started, so 21 years next month. Actually, November. 21 years, November 18th. I always think of October because my 21, well, she'll be 21 in October. My 20-year-old daughter was born in 97, October of 97. And I left my factory job when she was only a month old, and my ex-wife was having a conniption. She didn't want me to leave jobs because we had a brand new baby, and I did, and that's the same career I've had ever since. Select Pet says 45 watching and 25 likes. Come on, people. Yo, Dank, what is up? I wondered about you. Welcome to the live stream, buddy. You said you would definitely be here, and you weren't lying. I am at the bottom of the chat. We got 44 people watching. Hopped out of bed. Uh-oh. I wondered if you went to sleep. You went cold this afternoon. Oh, well. I wish that I could have took a nap. I probably could use one. My son, he needed to take a nap, and he slept for like 16 hours between yesterday after he got off work and last night. It was kind of funny. No big deal, Dank. No big deal. Now that you're here, what do you got going on tonight, Dank? Knock, knock. Who's there, Dank? Stands look good, man. Thank you. I've got to work on the reflection because my lights up here, you can see my lights on the frag tank. I don't like the spacers, but I got to do those because I couldn't get my arm in there above the 20s. Or I could take them out and just deal with it. I do have to take this all completely down tonight and shoot my intro videos, intro and outro for all my videos that I've got built up. I haven't made videos in 2 weeks because I've got a bunch built up that I need to edit. So I'll do that, and then I'm gonna try to move the whole rack about 4 inches back because today I set up my camera up here to do, because my intros to my videos will have to be from this view now instead of the view that it was, so I'm gonna have to switch that all up. Red Dirt Cichlids is in the house. Hello, fish peeps. What is up, Red Dirt? Dank's just tearing down a tank, so I'm sure you're talking about the one that you took the what are those dart frogs called? Monchera? I can't remember what they're called. The yellow darts. Let's see here. Wow, am I in everyone? Cool. Yeah, you're in everyone's like that. Dan Squires says, nap sounds good. Might have to watch this in Dream World. My first YT will be coming up. Amano's 40 tank coming up. Cool. I'd like to get some Amano shrimp. I saw some when I was in Michigan that were huge, and I thought, man, that would be kind of cool, actually. Matecho. And I'm probably saying it wrong. I ate some apple pie and passed out. Man, apple pie sounds good right now. I saw a cooking show today, and they made this peach cobbler, and they made this stuff called sassy sauce on it that was whipping cream or heavy cream, sweetened condensed milk, and something else. I can't remember what else they put in it, but it thickened up, and they put it over that cobbler, and I was like, good grief, that looks good. I've got a Twix bar in the refrigerator for my dessert tonight. Let's see. Mob Guppy says, I have videos preloaded until November 4th. Good grief. Right now, once I get all my videos done, I'll be good all the way. I'll probably have to put 1 or 2 on November, actually, because I've got 2 videos I need to make, too. I need to make the Pleco versus Pumpkin this week, and I'm also going to do, like, Pleco versus Broccoli as well. And I might do Pleco versus Broccoli tonight. That's a lot of work, though. Let's see. Red Dirt Cichlid says, Stan looks good. You can get a 4-inch half block. Yeah, I could do that too. I I could definitely do that. Because those 2x4s look crappy. And I even actually, what I really wanted to do before I put water in all of the tanks, I really would like to paint it all black, but I don't know if I'm going to or not. I haven't done it on any of the block stands that I've made, but I almost kind of wanted to. And another thing that I'm going to do when I put it back together is, see this flat one right here? There's a bunch of flat ones down here, and what I'll do is on these top 4, I'll put the flat ones up there. That's probably what I'll do. Or make sure that they're all the ones with the lines or all with the flat. I don't know. But I kind of like to paint it. Paint it black to just let it blend in a little bit. Because it's going to be my backdrop to my live stream here, so kind of want it to look a little bit nicer. But thank you. I think it looks good too. It looks good in person. I was talking earlier, Red Dirt Cichlids, in the stream. The top rim to this frag tank up here is chin high. So all you got to do is crouch down just a little bit to look in that tank. And I'm like 5'10", so it's pretty cool. And I can still reach up over it into the middle of the tank, so that isn't a problem. And it's not low to where you can't really view it really good. I can't get a top view of it, but that's not really, I'm not really too concerned about that. If I had to have that on a different shelf, look at how long it is. There's 30 inches in between these two blocks right here. So 48 inches would make this block over here have to be way out here, and then I would have no room to walk around it. So I had to do a lot of figuring to get this stand to work right. And the only thing I shot on doing this stand right here for video was I did a time lapse of it, but I am going to be taking it down, so I could do kind of a video on it, because I mean, it's kind of a specialty rack. Like, it's got 3 10s on the bottom and 2 20s front to back. The only problem is if you do the 2 20s front to back, you wouldn't be able to have it up against the wall, because then that back 20 you wouldn't be able to see it, you know. So got to think of that. But I bet you a 40-gallon breeder would probably go in there. I would bet. Close, anyhow. Let's see here. Bob from Steampot Aquatics is in the house. Hello, y'all. What is up, Bob? Nice to see you. DK Fishhook says, get a drone for a top view. I've got 2 drones. Both of them are down right now. I made a video, and I don't know if it's still on my channel or if I've got it. I don't know if I've got it to where everybody can see it, the public can see it or not. But I did have a drone, and I did a video on how it wrecked into a tree, and it was kind of crazy. But all that's messed up on it, actually what happened was I wrecked it, and instead of ordering parts to fix it, I ordered another drone. And the type of drone that I had comes with a still camera mount, and I had bought a gimbal camera mount. And whenever I was hooking up the gimbal, whenever I was disassembling it out of my old drone, I yanked it out thinking that I had all the wiring unhooked from it, and I pulled a main wire off of the board, and the contacts on it are so small that I could not get it to solder back into place. So I kind of messed up there. So both of my drones are down. Yeah. So, but I have flown it in my house before. I actually got really good at flying it until I wrecked that one. That was the only time I've ever wrecked one too. Yeah. Kevin from Mortal Slayer 82 says, if that stand is wider, you better have great ups to get over that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I couldn't make it any wider. Because last night after I got to thinking about it, I was like, well, why don't I put the 20s on the top and then put the 50 in the middle shelf? But then I thought, no, because it won't fit in the middle of the blocks. I'd have to widen it out. So, yep, that won't work. Susan says, thanks for the stream, Jeff. You all have a great weekend. Much love, Fish Fam Mom. Thanks a lot, Susan, and you have a great rest of the weekend. We are at the bottom of the chat. Candy is back. Welcome back, Candy. So, we're a little over an hour here. I guess I could look up videos that I've got coming up while you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Before long, I'm going to start running out of videos that I've got uploaded, so I don't even know what's coming out this week. Let's see here. By the way, Bob, if you are lurking, I really love your lizard that you got this week. That thing is awesome. Really cool. Let's see here. What do I have coming out this week? So today is the 22nd. So the 24th is what I want to look at for Monday. So Monday the 24th is... Okay, so Monday the 24th is where I had this 48-hour challenge where I've got these albino bristlenose over in this 40-gallon breeder over here. And I've got 3 females in there that are over a year old, and I've been waiting for bristlenose in this tank to grow out big enough to find out if I've got any males or not. And I got tired of waiting, so I paid my son $10 to borrow his albino male, and I challenged myself to try to get them to spawn in 48 hours, and it happened. And it was like a great big giant clutch of eggs that are probably over 100 for sure. But that video is Monday, and it is a long one. It's the longest video I've ever put on YouTube. It's 32 minutes long. So it is what it is, guys. And then Thursday, I brought out another top 5 video. I made a video called My Top 5 Favorite Aquarium Plants for Live Bearers. That's what Monday and Thursday is. So Monday is a pleco spawning, and there's a lot of spawning action that goes on in it. So if you guys haven't ever witnessed a male and a female bristlenose pleco spawning, it's really cool. There's 3 females in there. One of the females didn't ever try to go in the cave at all, but one of the females is a long fin albino and the other one is a short fin. So I don't know. The reason why there's 100 to 200 babies in here is maybe both of the females spawned in the same cave, because both of the females kept on going in there. And I didn't... Okay, I put them in on a Friday night at like 10 o'clock at night, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning whenever I finally went to bed, and I noticed the eggs then. So it was like 27 hours, somewhere around in there is how long it took. But if you haven't ever seen bristlenose plecos in their breeding activities, this video is 32 minutes long, but there's a lot of that going on in there. And when I was editing it, I mean, it could have been an hour-long video. I shot a lot of video footage, but when I was editing it and trying to condense it down to be not such a long video, because there's going to be some people that it is going to be boring to them, but I couldn't. I'd start talking about something in this clip, and I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of interesting. So I don't know. You guys check it out Monday and see what you think. Susie Q says, I like videos that are 30 minutes so I can listen on my way to work. That's awesome. I've got other subscribers that say the same thing. And then I've got ones like, I think Tampa Tom told me one time he likes the short ones. So whenever I make a short video, I actually think of Tampa Tom. I'm like, well, he's going to like this one. Short and sweet and hard to beat, you know. I don't really mind a short one or a long one. It doesn't really matter to me. If there's long ones, like I'm subscribed to Joe Robinette, and he does a lot of bushcraft stuff, and his videos are all over an hour long, sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. And I don't always get to watch his on the day that it comes out, but I'll catch up on it eventually. Like he made one this week that's an hour long, and I haven't got to get it yet, but I might watch it tomorrow morning whenever I'm drinking my coffee and my wake up time. But yeah, That's kind of how I feel about it. I don't dislike long videos, but I might not get to watch it that day when it comes out. It might be a few days before I get to it. RNH2O says, is that Pleco Daddy at Jeffroz FishKeeping? I guess. Yep, I would say so. Tegu versus food, just saying that'd be good, YouTube. Yeah, no doubt. I love the Tegu lizard, though. It's really, she's beautiful, actually. Really cool looking. Oh, boy. Has anybody noticed that my audio is louder tonight? Or has anybody noticed a difference at all? Honeybee says, looking forward to those, Jeffro. Yeah, I really like the long one because there was a lot of cool breeding action going on. I mean, it was just like, wow. I've never really got to sit and watch it for hours and hours. I mean, they went for 24 hours, guys. These females had never seen a male since they were babies and they seen their brother, you know, and their dad. That's the last time they'd seen a male. HC Aqua's in the house. What's up, Jesse? Nice to see you. Mile High Plecos is back. Holy crap, you're still on? Yeah, on Saturdays I usually go longer than an hour. Do you have to pee yet? Nope, I went, and I went right before the stream. I almost forgot, though. Select Pet says, I noticed there's something different behind you. Yeah, a lot of something different behind me. Boom, boom, boom. Mary, Mary, Mary. Quite contrary. How does your garden grow? Science Gal Aquatics is here. Hi, everyone. Lurking mode, but had to say hi. Well, hello, Science Girl. Nice to see you. Select Pet, are you serious? You didn't notice this whole stream about the something new behind me? But you've maybe been just lurking the whole time. What about doo-doo? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I read your text a little bit ago, but nobody knew that I had it. I've gotten one text during the stream, but nobody knew that because I did finally figure out how to put my phone on vibrate, but I've never switched it off of vibrate, so I've missed some texts this week because sometimes when it's in your pocket, you don't either feel it or I don't know. But yeah, the text that I got during the live stream from Mile High Plecos says, and I quote, and I'll show you guys if you don't believe me, I gotta get naked. I'll be back in a bit. I gotta get naked. I'll be back in a bit. I'm not kidding, guys. Not kidding. Not even kidding. Dank Tank says, so is there an official stocking list for those tanks? I wish there was. I would take anything also. Like, if Mile High Plecos wants to send me like 6 leopard frog plecos to try to spawn them for him, and I'll give him all the babies that I spawn out of it, you know. Yeah. Select Pet says, nah, Jeff, said anybody notice? Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. I was using my bad humor. Okay, I see what you mean. HC Aqua, what are you putting in those tanks? Well, Jesse, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm doing a poll to ask people on this stream what I should put in these tanks. But the top one is going to be a Pleco tank for sure. And then the middle 2 are 20 longs. And they're back to back. So there's one on this side and one on the other side. And I've never done crystal shrimp. I've done Neocaridina now for like a year and a half. And I've got those pretty spot on. I hardly ever have any loss with those. So I'm good with the Neocaridina. I think crystal shrimp is a pretty good beginner Caridina species. So I'm going to get some crystal shrimp. And then I'd like to do a Shelly tank. Maybe get some multis and do on in one of the 20 longs. And then on the bottom is 3 10-gallon tanks. Just standard measurements on those. And those are going to be like either little project tanks where maybe I might have an inler like you know, an Inler that's looking a little different, I want to pull him out to select breed, or maybe I might use those as like some quarantine and stuff. But yeah, the top one is definitely going to be Pleco Tank, and to start out, I've got a great big spawn of albino bristlenose right now, like somewhere between 100 and 200 babies that are like a week to 2 old, and I'll put those in there right now to get those growing out. But yeah, just got it all setting it up. Carbon Really is in the house. What is up, Carbon Really? Shower time. Yeah, that's what you say now. You're trying to downplay it. Let's see here. Yeah, everybody probably got a good kick out of that one. Yep. Dank says rainbow. I didn't know YouTube allowed that. Corey's Aquatic says, I would love some of Jeffroz Plecos. Well, I need to count what I've got left over, but the Super Reds could probably be shipped, I would say, because they're still pretty small. The albinos are getting close to iffy, but I've got a lot of albinos, so I'm waiting on some bags that will be better for shipping plecos. I've been waiting for a week on them, and I'm kind of concerned. If they're not here by Monday, I'll send the guy another email. But that's all I'm waiting on right now to get serious about shipping some more. But if you hit me up on my Instagram, Corey, right there, if you hit me up on Instagram, that's how I'll know. You know, if you don't have an Instagram, if you have a Twitter, and if you don't have a Twitter, go to my About section on my YouTube channel and get my email address and just send me an email. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, Mary just got some from me this week, and yeah, I sent her 3 albinos, and they're doing really good. She sends me pictures every 5 minutes of them. I'm just kidding, not that bad, but let me know whenever, Jeffro, I want them. Yep, just like I said, and you probably already typed that before I said what I said. Select Pet, I'm going to have to restock. I never got any more since I became Pleco Killer. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I can't remember exactly what was going on. I just remember you saying that. And I know some people that say that they kill shrimp too. And it's like, man, I never had any troubles with shrimp. Punchy says, gasp, hiding my plecos. Yep. It was kind of cool seeing some of them go. And like another thing, like the albinos that I've got for sale right now, they were in my Pleco versus cucumber video, but they were little bitty then. They were little bitty babies. I had the 3 females that are over here in this 40-gallon breeder. I had those in there at that time, and they were in the video, and there was a bunch of close-ups of a bunch of babies on the cucumber, and yeah, so, and then the Super Red babies were in my video this last week. What am I going to do with all these plecos, or I need to do something with all these plecos. They were in that video. That was a longer video too. Let's see here. We're at the 1.5-hour mark. We still got 34 people here. What to talk about? Red Dirt Cichlid says, get some gold nugget plecos. They're going for $60 for 1.5 inch plecos here. I do like the golden nugget plecos. But what I've heard is you got to be careful when you're buying those, because you might not get a true golden nugget. Like people will get them in and they just call them gold nuggets. I think I was hearing that on Bob's live stream the other night. Right now, my favorite pleco that I'm looking at is the L264. It's the gray variant of the Sultan pleco, and but I don't want to get, you know, just one pleco for a big flat frag tank like that. You know what I mean? Dank Tank says, it's okay, I'm the shrimp killer. I don't think it was you that I was thinking of. It was somebody that had reached out to me that said they'd like to get some shrimp from me. And they had gotten a couple, but they keep killing them. Every time they get some, they keep killing them. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't you that I was thinking, though, Dank. Oh, boy. Let's see here. Oh boy. Yeah, just got me another good little picture. Oh my gosh. That'll wake you up in the morning. Honeybee says, I've just followed you on Instagram and seen your big bearded friend. Yeah, I just got a message that you followed me. I saw that. Yeah, Kevin has got the beard thing going on. It was actually kind of cool whenever I seen it. Before he became a subscriber of mine, he was clean shaved, and he saw my videos and saw my beard, and he decided to, I doubt that's the truth. I'm just making all that up. I'm hoping that he hears that and he will speak up in the chat. But yeah, we had the beard gang going on really good today, I'll tell you. What kind of word is that? Which one, Dank? I just said a bunch of words. Aw, he's all titter-patted. Yeah, no kidding. My beard isn't that big, honeybee. My beard isn't that big, honeybee. Is it better to breed in trios or just a pair? On bristlenose plecos, it's best to have a reverse trio. So have 2 males to 1 female, and the reason why is because the females will be ready to go right away, and that male, after he gets done fanning all those eggs, it's quite a while. You know, it takes like 4 days usually to get them to turn into wigglers, and then he can stay on those eggs fanning them after they turn into wigglers for up to 2 or 3 weeks if you let him, and he doesn't get to eat that whole time. He just stays there and fans on those eggs. So it really is a lot of hard work on him. And if whenever he gets out of the tank and eats 1 meal, another female goes in right away, or that female goes in right away and gets him back in there again, it can really wear him down. So you're better off to do a reverse trio, in my opinion. Dank Tank says, I like the fine spot variety. Those are nice. Don't blush, Jeff. How was that pic? Did he send it to you too, Jeremy? I've seen it before because on Google Hangouts one night it was just like, whoa, you've got one of those, huh? I can't remember if it was Dank making fun of him or what. Dank says, no, I murdered mine. Death by beta. Am I that far behind? Golly, I'm pretty far behind. Yeah, I remember that, Dank. Only been growing my beard for about 3 years. Same here. This December, will it be 3 or 4? I can't remember. I think it's 3. I've had mine non-stop for 3 years. Every once in a while I'll trim it down, but I think this winter I'm gonna let it go wild. Let it go wild. It's a tidbit nipply out here in the Colorado. Yeah, it's tidbit nipply here too. Yeah, it sure is. Honeybee, now I'm confused. Boom, 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 boom. Red Dirt Cichlids, what a pleco life. LOA, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yep. That word Mike's typing. Oh, okay, but that was a long time ago. Let's see here. Oh, he's all titterpated. Titterpated? You don't know what titterpated is, Dank? At what size do your bristlenose females lay eggs? Well, I thought that my female that I had on my super reds was big enough to do it, but she just never would. And I was doing all kinds of things trying to make it happen. And whenever I got my L182s, I requested a female super red from Mike from Mile High Plecos, and he sent me one. And hers was bigger, or his was bigger, and she laid eggs within 2 or 3 weeks after I got her. So, you know, my one female that I've got going now, she's like somewhere around 3 inches long, but she doesn't do very big clutches yet. My bigger female that's like 4.5 inches long, somewhere around in there, she's, you know, doing better. Yeah, it actually depends. There's no real exact length or size, you know. It actually depends on them when they mature, you know. But I would say somewhere between 3 and 4 inches when the females, they have to be mature or they just won't do it. If you're pulling the eggs, go with the standard trio. If you're pulling if you pull the eggs, you could go with the standard trio. Yep, Dank brings up a good point there. Mine always bigger, ha ha ha. Well, I think I may have you beat because but they haven't grown out for me to be able to tell if there's some long fin in there and some short fin. What happened was both females spawned in the same cave, and it very well could have happened because both of the females kept on backing in there over and over and over again, and then they would run each other off, and he wasn't keeping them in there very long. Like, he was letting them out and stuff and then not wanting to let them go back in. It was a crazy night. That video comes out Monday. It was a crazy night. Yeah, Dank, if I would have not trimmed mine for the last 3 years, I could have had Duck Dynasty beard too, but I trim mine back once a month for the last 3 years. So I could have too. John Bedker says, my 183 female is like 3 inches with no eggs yet. Yeah, it is hard. Like, I think my L183s are all like right around 3 inches too. But to me, the way they don't look mature yet. You know, I don't know how to explain it. But it is a long, grueling wait. Look back to when you got them. How big were they when you got them? Guesstimate how old they were when you got them and how long you've had them. And, you know, technically somewhere around a year, but you can get them to spawn before the year. Like, I got some to spawn where I'm guessing they were somewhere around 6 to 7 months, but that's really having everything spot on. That's having everything going good. Your rarer ones, you know, like my L183s, they were wild caught. There's no way to tell how long it will be. It might be a whole year, it might be a year and a half, I don't know. But it is grueling to wait. And then when it finally happens, that's why you're so excited when it happens, John. Because you're like, man, I'm doing all this, you know, blah, 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 blah. Then there was one time where my super reds didn't spawn again for a while. And I was like racking my brain, what changed, you know, what's happened, you know. And then I got to thinking maybe I need to add some more crushed coral because, you know, my tank had been set up for way over a year. Maybe the hardness of the water wasn't just right, and I put in a couple of cups of crushed coral, and within 2 days they spawned. And I think it had a lot to do with that. Like, my crushed coral wasn't right. And that's another thing on your tank, your L183 tank. I don't think you had any coral, crushed coral at all in there, so maybe you might add some crushed coral in there. That might help. You do RO water though, I think, don't you? So maybe you're already putting additives to it. But that could be something that you could do. You could do some crushed coral. My 183 spawned in less than a year. Yeah. Boom. Tampa Tom says phone died. I'm plugged in and back now. We talked about you a little bit ago. Oh, it was about long videos. Monday's video is a long video, Tampa Tom. It's 32 minutes long. And a couple of people piped up in the chat and was saying, I like the long videos. Like Susie Q brought up, she likes long videos because she can listen to it while she's going to work. And I said, well, you know, some of my subscribers do like the longer videos, but the one Monday is really, really long. It's 32 minutes long. But I said, I remember Tampa Tom talking one night on a stream that he likes the shorter ones. So every time I make a shorter video, I'm like, Tampa Tom's going to like it. You know, that's what we were talking about you while you were gone. Boom, boom, boom. We're at hour 40. We got 20 minutes left. I'll probably go till 2 hours. So it is 8:40 Central Standard Time. We'll go till 9. Yeah, my albinos over here in this tank, you know, they were way over a year old, but I had never had them with any males at all, and I put one male in there, and within 27 hours they spawned. So that was the quickest I'd ever got. You know, my hard wait on them has been waiting on some of these guys to grow out to where I could see some bristles and get a male out of there. I just want one male. You know, that's all I need. So I'll probably break down and buy a male off of somebody is what I'll do. I'll just probably break down and buy an albino male. Or if some of these get left over and I happen to find a male in there. Select Pet says, wait, Jeff's keeping up with the chat? LOL, cool. Yeah, I have been. Now, I guess we're only having 1.5 messages per minute, though, so I can surely keep up with that. Dank Tech says, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I can't remember what that would be in regards to, though. John Gonzalez says, long show tonight. I'll have to listen tomorrow for the rest of the show. Yep. Saturday nights, I try to go longer than an hour if I can, because that Wednesday night, it seems like that hour is just short. Before you know it, it's over. And there's been a Saturday, there was a Saturday a while back, I went 3 hours and then went 2.5 before. I think I've went 3 for a couple of times. Susie is asking if there's any American cichlid breeders here. Mile High Pleco says, Jeff, you need longfin reds. I could probably do a longfin red project. I haven't ever done any longfin reds, and I would like to add that to my repertoire. And see, that's another thing in these little 10-gallon tanks down here. I could get, you know, a breeding pair of something and just do them in there. And, you know, if I was smart, I would do like a 20 long and do my super reds that I've got going in a 20 long and then scrape the eggs and then have them grow out in the 55. That's what I should be doing. I've got it backwards is what I've got it. Let's see here. I'm the only one who doesn't like longfin. I've got a female albino longfin and I like her. She's pretty cool. It's just kind of majestic how they go. You know, I don't know. Susie says, I'm trying to figure out if I should remove my eggs from the out of the community tank or leave them alone. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever's in your community tank might chew on them. Mile High Pleco says 8-hour stream. Oh my gosh, Corey did an 8-hour stream for, what was it, Christmas or Thanksgiving? And I had to keep on coming in and out of that stream. It's like, wow, how did he do that? You're really doing something if you do a stream that long. I would say that if I did a stream for 8 hours straight, if I did a stream for 8 hours straight, it would probably make me not want to stream again for a while. Yeah, Dank says, it's about time for Jeffro to do the 8-hour right extravaganza. I wonder what YouTube would think if I went 8 hours straight. What would happen? I mean, would it help me? I mean, it would up my comments for the month for sure, because you're getting 8 live streams in one, basically, you know, in one night. Gosh, can't remember who it was, but somebody there for a while, Priscilla had turned me on to it, and I went there one time and it was kind of just a bunch of people, but there was like, gosh, there was like 6 or 7 people that were in a Google Hangout, and they just kept the live stream going and just going and going and going. But when I went to see it, it was kind of slow. There wasn't much going on, so I didn't stay very long. But Susie says they all still have eggs. Hopefully no one eats them. Yeah, hope so. Tampa Tom says, I started a 55-gallon outside with pea gravel, having a hard time picking out plants for it. Any suggestions beside Val? Swords are good. Sword plants, you can do a jungle sword. Like I got a flame sword the other day that's pretty nice. But swords like gravel, like they do really good in gravel. Yeah, I would recommend like a sword plant. And they get like they've got some different greens in the sword plants that contrast to other plants too. And then like that red flame sword that I got the other day is pretty cool. It's kind of melting back a little bit, but their root structure, they're a root feeder big time. So like you would need to put some root tabs down in the gravel. But yeah, you could do some sword plants. They're pretty nice. And then I would say you could put some crypts in there too. Mile High Pleco says, Jeff, get the long reds going and I'll buy your fry. Okay, that's a deal, man. That's a deal. We'll do the shipping the eggs thing. The longfin reds go a little bit more too. I've noticed on Aquabid they're a little bit more expensive. So I think instead of growing or buying and growing out though, I'd rather just go all in. If I know that you're going to buy the fry from me, just go all in and buy a proven pair from someone. That's what I'd like to do. It'd be money, but it'd be less time. I know that I could get them going right away because I just put some pea gravel and some crushed coral and put a cave and a sponge filter and a 20 long and just get them going, you know. Let's see. Now I got to get another 20 long. Or I could probably do a longfin pleco. I could probably do a longfin super red in either the Shelly tank or the crystals tank too. Maybe if I play my cards right. Buster Maston says Inacarus. Mile High Pleco says, but seriously? Okay. Better be good looking reds. Ha ha ha. Jeff oh, okay, I already read that. But better be good looking reds. Ha ha ha. Yeah, and I know that a while back I had talked to you about if you needed any super reds ever, you know, to let me know. And your first thing was, are yours nice? And I mean, I can send you some sometime. They are pretty nice. They're pretty red. I know your female that you sent me was lighter than what my males were. Maybe a little bit lighter than the female that I have too. But all of the babies so far have looked pretty good. I had never seen them in a bag before until last weekend whenever I took those ones to Adrian. And then the ones that I gave to Kevin today too. I mean, they're nice. Those are fun. What's fun, Dank? I just all of a sudden out of the blue got really tired, guys. I hit a wall. It's like, Tampa Tom says, what's Jeffro's plans for tomorrow? Hope you're having a good weekend. Well, tonight after the live stream, my son, I don't know if he gets back early enough. If he gets back early enough, I'm going to have him help me take this tank off of here. And then I'm going to disassemble this whole stand. And then either tonight or tomorrow morning, I am going to shoot intros and outros for like 7 videos. And I know that sounds a little weird, but sometimes it is what it is. Like if I get 3 videos made up, like in all of my videos that I've been doing now, my intros and outros, I'll have my Jeffroz FishKeeping shirt on. Used to, what I would do is I would switch shirts in between each cut. So I'll do an intro and an outro for this video, and then change shirts, change hat, and set back down and do an intro and an outro for the next one. And I've done that before for 4 videos one time. It's kind of weird, but you know everything that happened in the video, so you know what you're talking about. I've never done it for a video that I haven't done yet. That would be really weird. But yep, so I've got that to do, and then I might start, then I'll put this back together and I'm going to move it, and then I'm also going to level it as I go because it's off level right now. So since I haven't got any water and all the stuff in the tanks yet, I can do that. So I'm going to get that done tomorrow and put it back into place. Let's see what else. And then I do need to do some water changes, but I don't have to do that tomorrow, so I'll probably start editing on one of the videos, get one of the videos done tomorrow, and then what I might do is over the next week try to get one of those videos edited every day. I'm done with shooting all the videos. I just need to get my intros and outros shot for it. But I need to get those all built back up because I think I'm down to like 4 videos on YouTube now. 2 weeks worth of videos on YouTube, and I've got like 7 built up, and then I've got 2 to make. Like I need to this week make pleco versus broccoli because I've got some broccoli and I need to get it done before the broccoli starts to go bad. And then I need to do a pleco versus pumpkin for my Halloween video. Yo Jeff, what recipe for the fruit flies did you use? It's got beer, it's got vinegar, apple cider vinegar, it's got yeast, and then I think it had mashed potatoes in it. Yeah, the dry mashed potatoes. Jeremy says, just have to know people who know people that know the one. LOL. Yeah, no doubt, right? What is up, Pete Berlinski? Pete Berlinski is in the house and he says, yo, Fish Pete's. What is up, Pete? Are you done with work for the day? Are you just going to work? Are you off? Yeah, I might know, Jeremy, I might know someone that could find me a breeding pair. It'd be pricey though, I guarantee you. Especially, you know, I might be the wet spot. Maybe I could get some from the wet spot. But that's going to probably be down the road because I've got a lot of fish to buy. I've got to buy some multis. I've got to buy some crystal shrimp. And that's all I got to buy for fish right now. But gosh, whenever, okay, so when I started this little project that's going on behind us, the biggest reason why is to get me a little bit better of a background here. But I've wanted to get a frag tank for a long time. So I've got the frag tank expense. I've got the 220 longs expense. So we're up right around $200 there. Then it cost me about $60 to make the stand. So we're at $260. The tanks, the 310s on the bottom, you know, I already had those, but I guess you could add those in. But I got those on a $1 per gallon sale, so that's $30. So we're looking at right at $300 for what's just sitting there right now. Then I had to order the lights, and I got those cheap, but all my lights for all the tanks were $100. So now we're at $400. Sponge filters, I already had them, but they're what, $8 a piece, and we got 3 down there, so 3 times 8, you know, right around $30, 30, you know. So we're right around $40 for $50 for sponge filters, so we're at $450. All right, then you got to get a bag of sand. I get that big 50-pound bag for like $30. So now we're at $480, you know. And then I got to get some blue ball stratum. I already got that. That was like $20 bag. So like now we're at $500. And I got to get spiderwood. I got to get some shells. You know, you just keep on. I mean, I think I added it up last night with everything. It's going to be around $750. And that's before I buy any really nice plecos. Right now, this is going to just be a grow out tank for my babies for right now. I've got a bunch that need to be grown out. So that's what that one up there is going to be for right now. And then the bottom tank, I can do some breeding projects, but I've still got another $400 to shell out in the next couple weeks to get all these going. So my red long fins, that is something that I can do though. Don't go through the wet spot, go through a breeder. Yeah, my L183s, I've still got one that is pretty ugly, man. I mean, I've got some that are beautiful, but I've got one that the colors are just wrong, you know? Pete says, just got back from an early morning fishing session. Awesome. Tank says 8-hour live streams are fun. Yeah, definitely. It's kind of cool. You can be in there for like an hour and then leave and go do something and then come back and it's like, dang, it's still going. Tampa Tom says, nice. Are you going to wrap any of your tank stands with like black sheets or anything? I've thought about possibly painting them. I've also thought about getting rid of these blocks and just roughing it. Man, I can't hardly point tonight. Roughing it on getting my arm in there. Like right now I've got plenty of room to get my arm in there. Without the blocks, I can only get it in there so far. So maybe scape the tank, put all the hardscape in, get everything in there. I could squeeze a sponge filter in there, no problem, and that's all that's going to be in there for sponge filter. But what I was thinking is, eventually, if I ever have fry in there and stuff, because this one's probably going to be a Shelly tank, it'd be kind of hard for me to get this big gun in there, you know? Like, my gun won't go in there, and I think those blocks look like crap, or the wood 2x4s, you know, right there look like crap, I think. And then if you look, these blocks right here have the lines, and then that one has the line, but that one's flat. But I've got matching ones down below, so for sure maybe make these all flat up here, and I could do that. And then maybe paint all the boards and paint all the blocks black. Paint all the boards and the blocks black. But I don't have any thoughts on putting any kind of sheets or anything like that up. It would be nice if I could get like a face board to go across here that comes down, that blocks the light from right here, because that's where my lights are going to be mounted, is up in there for my 20s. I think that that's going to be shining light here, so it would be nice to put a face board across here, but this 20 sticks out farther than that board right there does. So I was already holding up like a face board earlier, thinking about that, because I could put it on hinges and have it, you know, when I need to get in it, just fold it up, you know. But it is, I mean, I can do whatever I want to it. Dank Tank says, dude, literally doing wardrobe. LOL. Mile High Pleco says, don't go through. Oh, we already read that. A dozen caught and released. Oh, nice. People that know Neo. That cloud sound bad. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Adrian says, nice, you're still alive. Yeah, I'm going to go for another 5 minutes. That stand you're working on gets me excited, and it's not even mine. Yeah, I know. I've wanted a frag tank forever, and this one's really cool. I like where it's at right now, but two things I don't like. I don't like these blocks. I think they look tacky. They make it look tacky. So I could put them down lower, but then I don't need them. Well, only reason why I need them is to get this board to give me enough space in between here to get my arm in, and I don't want to put another full-size block over here and make that tank be out of my camera shot for my background here, because right now it's perfect where it's at, and even if without those blocks, down one is nice too. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but it does have me excited too, because right now my chin is at the top of that rim up there. That's where it hits my chin, right at the bottom. And I like it for viewing. Like, I got over here behind this 40-gallon breeder earlier and looked lengthwise, and it's a cool look. I can walk all the way around it. Now I can't get in between the tanks here, but I can stand right there and I can walk all the way around it. It's really nice. Oddball Aquatic says, the real question is, where is your bed, Jeffro? It's right on the other side. If you can see that door right there, my bed's on the other side of that. So now it covers up my bed. I don't have to make it my bed before every live stream. Before every live stream, I was having to take my sheet. You look down here, see how you can see my box spring? I was having to take my sheet and cover that up every time before every live stream, because it just kind of looked tacky behind me. So now I don't have to do that before every live stream, so I can just go without making my bed. Can you stand up and walk between those tanks? I don't have to turn sideways. I can walk straight through. So I don't even have to turn sideways. There's quite a bit of room. There's the width of my body now. On this tank today, I had a I had some of those specimen hanger, you know what I'm talking about, specimen containers hanging on the sides, and on this 10-gallon tank that's like right in here somewhere. My arm hit that specimen container when I was walking through, so I won't be able to hang it on the end of that tank anymore. But yeah. Tampa Tom says, what about trading those two 2x4s with one 2x12? Yeah, I thought about that too. I could probably even do a 2x8. I'd have to buy a whole one just to do that. But it would look better. You know, one full piece would look better than the two. Definitely, for sure. They also make like those little pavers, but the paver would be wider. Yeah, I don't know. I've got to come up with the solution. And right now, the only solution that I'm really thinking of is maybe just take them out and just grin and bear it, you know. Because I know I can get my wrist in there with a net. It will just make it harder for me to get fish out of there, you know. And it's already going to be hard because it's going to be a Shelly tank. So it's already going to be hard, but Dank says it's a cement block stand and you are worried about visual appearance. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I kind of am. I think I can make it look nice, Dank. Thanks for your input, though, bud. Gosh. John Bedker says Hawks still tied up but screwed up at the end of the half. I'll have to get on there. I didn't even know when they were playing today or who they're playing today. Woo pig. So the Razorbacks must have did good. So we're at the 2-hour mark. Going to go ahead and call it quits for tonight. Thanks for everybody that came in. We've still got 39 people watching, so thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out Monday's video. It's a long one, but show it some love for me. And otherwise, have a great rest of the weekend. And we'll see all of you guys back here next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace out, y'all.